Hi there, Metroby. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting this essay for you today. I'm happy to see that you have sent us an essay correction. So let's take a look and see what you have written here for us. This is about ex-prisoners. Let's see what you said. The prison system changes people in several ways. As a result, there are some ex-convicts that have become better people. It is often argued that they are in a better position to talk to teenagers about the harmful effects of breaking the law. I strongly agree with this view. Okay. Um, One thing that I really liked about this introduction is that it's brief and it directly answers the question. Okay. There were some elements of nice cohesion here. So I liked the as a result, and I even liked the they are in a better position. So that works too. But there was something strange that happened here in this last sentence. Even though you clearly lay out your position, it felt like a somewhat strange, kind of choppy and short sentence and an abrupt way to end your introduction. So everything was going really well. I do really feel like this needs a little extension somehow. Um, so maybe you could have just said, you know, you say that you strongly agree with this view. Okay, maybe you strongly agree with this view and you will defend your position with support and arguments to provide evidence. Or maybe you strongly agree with this view, even though you understand that crime prevention really must be facilitated by multiple players and not just ex-convicts alone. Okay, so you could have said something like that as well. But I do really feel like this needed a little extra extension. Maybe if we read your body paragraphs, we'll come up with something else that could have extended that. Let's see what you said. Those who do not agree that ex-convicts are the best people to advise teenagers in the area of committing crimes are mostly parents. They feel that their teenage children will become influenced negatively if they come in contact with ex-convicts. They highlight that it is impossible for anyone to change from being a criminal to becoming a good citizen. This is a very bad way to treat ex-criminals who have obviously repented and learned from their mistakes. Okay, so let's talk about this paragraph. Look at the essay. Do you have it here? You don't have it here. Okay, well, I can tell you what the essay question is. It says, to what extent do you agree or disagree that prisoners are the best people to talk to youngsters? So since it is a to what extent do you agree or disagree question, the only person whose opinion you need to include is your own. Okay, so why am I telling you that? It's because we are not really interested in the opinion of parents. We are only interested in this opinion if it is also an opinion that you share. And if that's the case, then you should lay that out in your introduction. Remember when I said I strongly agree with this view? Well, you could have said that although I agree that ex-convicts can negatively influence youngsters, on the whole, I do believe they are the best people to prevent crime. Okay, so that would have been okay. But this paragraph here, all you're doing is talking about the parent's opinion, which you weren't asked about. You were asked about to what extent do you agree with this? Okay, so a concession paragraph, and that's what this is here. When you talk about the other side that you don't really support, it's okay, but it has to be relevant to the question. Okay, so I'll just say it one last time, even though I'm afraid I'm belaboring the point. Yes to a concession paragraph, but in a to what extent do you agree or disagree essay, the concession paragraph should show your opinion and how you yourself see multiple sides of an issue. Um, the benefits of it, the drawbacks of it, and so forth. Okay, so we're not really concerned with what parents think. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Most people who have been in jail before are remorseful. Now, here you really, I think a nice kind of segue, a nice kind of linker would have been good here. Um, some maybe like an in contrast or maybe a however. However is really underused, I think, a lot of times in these instances. So I think actually however would have been quite good. Let's see. The last sentence you wrote here was, "This is a very bad way to treat ex-criminals who have obviously repented and learned from their mistakes." You know what? Maybe this would have been nice. In fact, most people who have been in jail before are remorseful. Now, that's a little similar to this. This obviously repented. They are usually on television programs talking about their experience and mistakes they regret having made. In fact, some have sworn to ensure that they educate young adults on the dangers of being a law offender. Clearly, these people will make a good example to teenagers in convincing them of the detrimental impacts of committing crimes. Additionally, because of the experience they have, they are able to give real-life examples of how they were treated in their cells. If teenagers are informed of these facts, they will try to be on their best behavior at all times. Okay, good. That's a nice paragraph. I liked it. It was cohesive, some nice cohesion, some nice, sorry, I meant cohesive linkers here. Not too many. All right, it was a decent amount you had. In fact, clearly, additionally, you don't want too many of these. I loved this last sentence here with this conditional. That's a great way to end a paragraph because it shows some advanced grammar and it's a nice, strong way to end a paragraph. So good job there. To sum up, I strongly believe that there are good ex-criminals who can help educate teenagers about the dangers of being a law offender. Okay, fine. I can't really, you know what? Let me tell you something. Majabi, you mentioned here they are in a better position to talk about teenagers, and so I'm glad you did this. It was close, but it wasn't quite 100% right. They said are the best people. So you didn't entirely address that. And for me, that's someone who brings this up and deals with it appropriately, that's a sign of a high level essay. Now, you mentioned, I think that you need this for your medical licensure. So you probably need a 7 in writing and you need a 7.5 overall. So basically a higher level essay of above a 7 would grab this idea of the best people and carry it throughout the essay. So it is often argued that they are the ideal role models, or they are ideal role models, or they are the most appropriate. So speaking in the superlative here. So they are the most appropriate people to talk to teenagers. Okay? So grabbing this idea of that superlative of the best people to talk to youngsters. And then here, you told me why they're good, but again, why are they better than anybody else? Okay, why are they better than police officers? Why are they better than, I don't know, famous athletes or whoever? Okay, so that's something that needs to be addressed. And then here, good ex-criminals who can help educate. Yeah, not enough to just help educate, but to be the exact people that these youngsters need to help keep them out of a life of crime. Okay? And I'm telling you this, it seems like a detail. It is a detail, but it's the kind of detail that will keep a good essay from being a very, very good essay. All right? Now, one other thing, since we're talking about details, is I want to talk a little bit about vocabulary. I thought your vocabulary was fine. It was good. However, there were a couple of opportunities that you missed to use maybe a little higher level vocabulary. And the reason I mentioned that is because I saw in several places the word good and bad, which are not particularly helpful when you are aiming for a high band score. So let me see, where was it? Okay, here, look at this. This is a very bad way to treat ex-criminals. What other word could you have used instead of very bad? All right, very bad feels really kind of elementary. So at the level you need to be, you need to do a little more work with your vocabulary than just that. There was something else. Where did it go? Here we go. Good ex-criminals. Okay, maybe you could have said ex-criminals who become upstanding citizens. Or somewhere else you used repented. You could have used it again. It wouldn't have been a tragedy. You could have said, I strongly believe there are repented ex-criminals. That would have been okay. Where else did I see good? I know I saw it and I wanted, here it is. They would make a good example. How about a prime example? That's a nice collocation. Okay, so really kind of avoiding these really basic words like good, bad, nice, big, small. All right. And again, this is important because you are aiming for a higher band score. So it's a good essay. I liked it. I liked a lot of it. You haven't told us what score you got in the past and what score you need. I'm assuming because of your profession, you need above a 7. So these are some of my suggestions. For sure, being a little careful with the task achievement. Okay, that's a major issue that I think would keep you from getting the score you need. And then a matter of detail is some of the vocabulary stuff that I talked about, okay? So, Medrabi, I hope we get to see more essays from you before you take your exam. There are a variety of different ways to work with us. So if you found this feedback helpful, I encourage you to take a look at the different packages to continue working with us, okay? I'd love to help you on your way. So hopefully we'll see more of your work soon. I want to wish you the best of luck.